Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here, and thank you so much. This is a wonderful turnout. I think we've had 3 now successful opportunities for people to come in and comment on the legislation, and we absolutely appreciate your feedback. It is something that we are definitely looking forward to dissecting and being able to improve what it is that we've already put out. Thank you so much.
Let's start with the board, and that table is facilitated by Hazel Washington and Caroline Thomas.
Good evening. My name is Courtney Thomas. I am the aide to Councilman Malik Evans. And our table, we talked about the board specifically. So we talked specifically about the composition of the board and also who can be appointed to the board and serve on the board. The first opinion was that the current composition of the board is okay and there's no need for a PAB. That was one of the voices that was heard at our table. It was also recommended that if there is a board, that the citizens prefer a 11-member composition as compared to the 9-member composition that's been offered in the current legislation, and that majority of the board should come from PAB appointment so that the community has the majority vote in the composition. We also talked about the fact that appointees should receive a stipend, so that way it allows those of low income to become eligible to serve on the board, and it mitigates any discrepancies within commitment of disposable time and disposable resources. Also, they feel as though, contrary to that viewpoint of giving those who serve on the board a stipend, it's been voiced that the alliance usually goes to where the paycheck goes, so it feels like there could be some bias created if people receive paychecks. We went into the composition of the board, so currently it's 4 members are decided by the PAB, 4 members are appointed by City Council, and the mayor has 1 appointee. As said before, it was recommended that the board actually does a 5-3-1 so that the community has the majority vote. Also, conflict of interest came up, so having the mayor and city council appoint members of the PAB, considering that the mayor and city council have administrative power over some of these positions, creates a conflict of interest. So that was definitely discussed. In the event that 11-member board is decided, it should be 6 members appointed by the PAB, 4 appointed by City Council, and 1 appointed by the mayor. City Council should have a say in the selection criteria, but as it stands right now, City Council also would have to approve the appointees that the PAB nominates. So that is a problem. No bueno. Our table did not like that City Council had the majority power vested in them, and they had to approve who the PAB recommends, but rather they should have approval in the selection criteria for the PAB. And the last thing we talked about is who can serve. So there was major consensus on the legislation regarding elected officials having to wait 3 years to serve on the board. Immediate family members of elected officials cannot serve on the board, and the requirements around council and the legal team of the board. There are certain requirements like the lawyer cannot have represented RPD or been involved in any RPD cases. So that terminology in the legislation, widespread agreement around that. We did have 2 questions to report out. One is whether or not the PAB will have access to how officers are training, and just to understand the mindset of officers in the actual moment. And the second is whether or not they can consult independent advisors to ask questions as, if we take this action, will it actually stand and be upheld in legal terms? That's it.